it is not true that finance bill has been weaponized for politics. And I want to put it with clarity of thought that that kind of narrative is one that will make us to veer off from the real focus. The focus is not on characterization, on linking individuals to this finance bill. Ladies and gentlemen, in this podcast, I want to strongly disagree with Ngunyi's narrative that I've just seen some few minutes ago. This is what he has tweeted. The finance bill has been weaponized for politics, and my hunch is that it will pass. Ruto should go for bold decisions, not popular decisions. But how should your MP vote? In that Twitter poll, 30% are saying yes for the bill, 52% are saying no, and whatever, don't care, 18%. If you take don't care and no and clamp them together and even divide, you will even realize that like 60% are saying no, and probably some 30% are saying yes to the bill. Now, that is the divide. And my point on this, the reason I want to strongly disagree with that is, first I need to explain maybe when he says weaponized. That is to mean that people have taken, or rather hijacked, the finance bill just to criticize it objectively, not objectively on the contents, but playing the politics in it. The truth of the matter here is extreme tax proposals, very punitive tax proposals, has brought nearly all stakeholders in this country in a table to discuss it. And is President himself on record speaking in Embu that has changed the conversation, and now everyone is talking about the finance bill. So it is wrong, or rather it is not right, it is not true that it has been weaponized for politics. No. The bill itself in its original text is bringing everyone on table. I want to defend this by saying, number one, the reason why I'm saying it's false it's not true is, there a narrative that Azimio did a smear campaign against the bill, and that's the reasoning behind it. I listened to the president saying that they're opposing it not because it is bad, but they're opposing it because it is not them implementing it. There is an attempt to say that those who are opposing the bill are opposing it because Azimio are never part of, they never won the government. They want to win the seat. I don't think that is the discussion. It is not true because organizations and companies and civil society groups appeared and submitted their proposals to the parliament, and 55 out of 66 turned down, rejected the bill. I want to believe that in those proposals they were very advanced and very protracted and detailed, objective. They were speaking on behalf of where they think that they are feeling a pinch, as civil society organizations, trade unions, and even companies. They submitted their proposals. President William Ruto himself met trade union officials in State House. I remember analyzing a meeting between his team and the Kuppet team team confirmed they met President William Ruto in State House, he personally making a presentation about the bill, and there was a stalemate. So at that moment, it is not right to bring the weaponization of the bill by other political players. In fact, to say the truth is this: the William Ruto's critics are not the ones that have actually ran the smear campaign, the campaign. Most people that have opposed the bill is actually the population. It is not true, because government officials, PS Hinga, called a 1-hour press briefing and he got coverage. Media covered it. 1 hour, 30 minutes press briefing, talking to the country about affordable housing. Kenyans are still saying we don't want it. You can go and look at the second media roundtable by President William Ruto interview, where he spoke about the finance bill. He was given airtime. He explained to the country with the clarity of thought, but the population is still saying we don't want it. So if you look at the number of platforms and resources that opposition or minority side have compared to the government, it is not true that opposition will successfully and have a leverage of weaponizing the bill against government's efforts to explain the bill. They get media coverage. I don't think Azimio has done a roundtable with media recently. None. They've just been doing press briefings here and there and social media messages. So, and that is my point. Look at this video. Look at this video.
Hivyo muliamuka mapema mukapigie kura Legathi na Sakayo. Muamuke hivyo mapema muende mukapige tax. Wamama wote kwanza wa Murang'a County wakianza na Betty Maina, sitaki kusikia mdomo yenyu tamu. Wamama wenye hawatumii hii mlikataa kutumia hii. Now you are going to be milked. Kama kuna wamama wanakuoga kwa shamba mingi ni wamama wa Central. Sasa hivyo muliiba. Mogokera tene muamuke after wiki mbili, kwa sababu bill itapitishwa, muende mukalipe tax. Kwa hivyo sitaki kusikia wamama hapa online kosa wa Murang'a County mkipiga kelele. Wewe na kina Betty Maina na hawa mama, unaona venye mmejifuga leso, mnarukaruka huku karibu bura hata sikatike. Mnarukaruka hivyo hata karibu masiwa ya watoto yanguke chini. Hivyo mrukaruke hivyo mkienda kulipa tax. Muamuke mapema, eni mukalipie Sakayo na Ligiji.
I watched that skit. It was shared to me by a former journalist, another friend of mine from Mount Kenya. Thank you very much for that video. And she was actually talking to the Mama Bogas about that bill. So that is what I was talking about. It is not about what the position, it's not about the weaponization. The bill has cut across. If you are to meet a teacher and ask him a question, atakwambia where it pinch, it is going to pinch him. If you are going to meet a doctor, he will tell you. If you meet the police, they will tell you. If you meet hawker, if you meet content creators, if you meet whoever is in this country, actor, go to the hospital and ask the sick, how will this bill affect you? He will tell you, I will not be able to pay my NHIF. If you walk to maternity room, they will tell you that if they need that formula, there is a tax that has been put in it. That's the truth to it. So I am not buying. We've been told something here. Some very politics, people who are doing politics are saying, if Ruto fails through that bill, then the only option available is to go and raise the debt ceiling, then go back and start borrowing. Then on that, what has been defined as the way to resuscitate our economy is to make sure we stop borrowing. But I want to say and repeat, and I've always been saying, the problem here is not about the money. It's not about whether we are raising locally or we are taking the debts. It is about how we are spending the money. I said it's a governance problem. Glenys Sholei was saying about how Singapore managed to change the economy and I think something on the affordable housing. And Kenyans reminded her that before Ruto must also, for the story to be completed to make sense, Ruto must also be willing and share with us a plan to hang corrupt leaders, just like Singapore was hanging corrupt leaders. So the problem here is governance, as to whether we are, even if we are going to give Ruto all the money through the taxes, but if we don't fix our governance, then we'll still be back in that hole. Now, there are some three blunders that I want us to look at, and there's three blunders with that narrative. Why that narrative, I totally don't agree with it. And I want to tell, I hope there's some good MPs or people who are peers to MPs that are watching my podcasts. And, or even if you're Kenyan and you can access your MP. If your MP is going to vote and in the context of finance bill as a battle against Raila, then that's where you've lost it. There are those who will be told that vote for this bill because Raila is opposing it and we don't want Raila to get leverage. Let me ask you. Do you want to tell me Raila have a problem with that bill? Person himself, even if he was to keep quiet and fail to work for the next 100 years, can he lack? Does he have a problem? He does not have any problem. It's you and me. That's the gospel truth that no one will tell you. And you'll be caged to believe, and even the supporters have been told that this bill, the problem is that it is being opposed by Raila. In Parliament, there's going to be no debate. And what Ngunyi is saying is what might find itself in Parliament, where MPs will start arguing not on the contents of the bill, but on who is supporting it and who is opposing it. Not a quality debate, but quantitative debate in terms of, we want to see we want to show how many are opposing it and how many are opposing it. And personifying it on what Raila is saying about it and what Raila said during the campaign trail, and Raila was also opposing it. I even saw the PS dragging that narrative, saying that, this bill, we should not even demonize it, because even Azimio was saying something. It's not about what was in the campaign trail. That bill is about it as it is. So the first blunder is the battle as against Raila. Number two blunder. The second blunder is this. People falling for the blackmail. And the blackmail here is this, that you want development in your areas, but you are opposing the bill. I don't know where was that information. I received a lot of information now. You get it. Where someone is saying that Ruto allegedly is even telling MPs that he wants to see members of parliament that are opposing the bill, so that their areas might not even get the development they have been asking for if they vote no, if they oppose the bill. I am also glad that even as we have said, let's go for open voting so that we know the traitors. Those who are going to support it, to oppose it. We want to know the traitors. I'm telling you, MPs are in a fix. So, those who believe that shooting down the bill is a move against economic recovery are wrong. By the end of June, the country must have a finance bill. We need to, not that we don't want the country must have a finance bill, because that is what is going to instruct how we are going to connect revenue from 1st of July and how government is going to fund itself the next financial year. But shooting it down only means that we don't agree with the way it is. Let's do some ukarabati a bit, bring it, then it is passed. That's what it means. And I think there is some narrow thinking that has been brought by such an escapist narrative like that of Ngunyi, that shooting down the bill is paralyzing government. No, they have the majority, the will. And for your information, let me tell you, even if that bill is, if MPs vote no, which is not an eventuality, of course, hakuna mtu atakosa salary. The government is moving. It is just that it is needed for the next financial year. So those making that narrative, honestly, they're dishonest. Because the truth of the matter here, what Ngunyi is saying about weaponization, this bill, Azimio, had less to say. I think government has spoken more than any other person. The civil society groups have been speaking. The young people have all over been reacting about the bill in TikTok, in Facebook, and social media pages, and political observers like us who've been speaking about this bill outrightly, not even about what the Azimio is saying. So weaponization, I don't believe. And if it is a weapon, then Ruto himself has loaded guns in the weapon. Yes. If the finance bill is a weapon, as the way Ngunyi is saying, then that weapon, Ruto himself and the UD administration themselves, they have loaded the guns. They've loaded the bullets in the guns. That's my point. I don't know what you take. Do you agree that it is a weaponization? It has been hijacked for politics, or true as it is?